right, this last little section. So this is about health, nervous system, kind of how all this ties together. Because, I mean, you can eat all the best food you want, but if your brain can't talk to your body, if you're exercising 6 times a day, but your brain's not able to tell the body how to work, then it really doesn't matter. So this was done by Dr. Roger Sperry. He won the Nobel Prize in 1981 for physics, physical medicine, and physiology. Were the two things. But 90% of the stimulation and nutrition to the brain is generated by the movement of the spine. So basically, if your spine doesn't move, your brain starves. So you got to move your spine. That's why they're seeing like a correlation. They're calling sitting the new smoking. You've heard that? Some people heard that? Sitting is the new smoking because you're seeing some of the same cardiovascular and pulmonary and Alzheimer's and all these diseases that we used to get from smoking. Now we're actually getting from sitting because our bodies are shutting down. And a lot of you guys are patients. You've already signed up. You're here. I'd rather have, I don't want you to be here and not know why you're here. Like, I used to think chiropractic was just about stiff necks and sore backs, and that was pretty much it. If your neck hurt, you get adjusted, and that's kind of the whole deal. But that's really not what we do, especially not what we do here. Our goal is correction. We want to get your spine into a healthy condition and healthy shape so that not only do we get rid of whatever pain symptoms you're having now, but we can keep that from coming back in the future. And then the bigger picture with this is to keep your nervous system working right, because your brain is talking to your body through the spine and nerves. So if those things work right, then your body works right. It's just that basic. This is the side view of the neck. So we're looking like this way. The neck should have a forward curve to it. Nice disc spacing. Beautiful discs, no degeneration, no arthritis. We call that curve the arc of life because that curve is housing your spinal cord. Hold your hand like that. So your spinal cord is like the mushy part of your hand. It's like soft and loose and mushy. When you lose the curve in your neck, which we'll show you, it actually stretches the spinal cord. And the weight of your head weighs as much as a bowling ball. Some people more than a bowling ball. So when you have a curve in your neck, it's like having a spring, so it bounces your head up and down. When you lose the curve in your neck, your head is basically jamming down those lower joints and lower part of the spine, and that's what happens when the neck gets out of alignment. So you see a nice, beautiful curve, and then they have a whiplash or a trauma or a car wreck or whatever, and then the first thing that happens is you lose the curve. That usually takes about a decade or so. It's about a 10 to 15-year process. And then if you take a look at this disc here, and the one down here, you start to notice that the discs will begin to collapse. This one's nice and big. These get smaller. And the next thing your body does is it treats the spine like a broken bone. So you'll start to see all the formation of these bone spurs, degeneration, osteophytes, calcium deposits, whatever you want to call that. The body is essentially treating an unstable spine like a broken bone. So when things get out of position, your body literally treats it like a broken bone. So you heard of someone that has arthritis in their neck or arthritis in their back. It's not old age. It's misalignment plus time. Like it's predictable. It happens every time. If my left knee is out of alignment and my right knee is in alignment, which one wears out first? The one that's out of alignment. Is it just old age? Well, how old is my other knee that's fine? Right? So it's not old age, right? It's misalignment plus time. But the problem is we live in a drug-based healthcare system where you wait till things fall apart and get painful, and then we go to the doctor and they give you pills. And if the pills don't work, then you have surgery. Like that's the healthcare. So we call that, it's really sick care. So nothing about that is really health-related. And again, I'm not against drugs, but it's not the system that's going to keep you well. It's diet, it's exercise, it's minimizing toxins, it's taking control over your own health and keeping your nervous system healthy. So chiropractic is based on 4 simple principles. This is so ridiculously simple. The body is self-healing. I played basketball on Saturday and got this nice scratch. Turns out that's the only way they can stop me on the basketball floor is they got to use their nails. No, actually, my vertical leap is like, you can't even slide a quarter under my feet. But anyway, so I got scratched. So I've done nothing to that cut. It happened on Saturday. What's it going to do? It's going to heal. Sometimes or always. Almost seems ridiculous, right? Did I have to put Neosporin on it? Did I have to put a Band-Aid on it? No, it just heals itself. And your body does that all the time. It heals cuts, it heals a sprained ankle, it heals the cold, and your body's fighting cancer. As you're sitting in this chair, your body's actually fighting off cancer cells. It's amazing, unbelievable. God's creation blows me away. The more I learn about it, the more I'm amazed. It's just the way we're designed is we're designed to self-heal. The nervous system controls all aspects of the human experience, and it controls every aspect of your health. Here's the question. If I cut my head off, would that keep healing? No. Is that a belief or a fact? Fact. You cut someone's head off, their cuts don't keep healing. It kind of stops immediately, right? Well, what if I cut the nerve in my neck that leaves my neck? What if I was to cut the nerve that just controls my arm? Would the cut keep healing? No. If the nerve can't tell the immune system where to go, if the nerve can't tell the blood clotting factors where to go, if the nerve can't tell all the little soldiers that do the healing, if it can't tell them where to go, then healing doesn't happen. And yes, there's blood flow, and yes, there's everything else, but that's controlled by the nerves. So that's really the name of the game with this. The third thing, interference to the nervous system sabotages health and life, because your health is your life. So if you damage the nervous system, you damage the way your body heals and functions. It's very, very simple. Our job, very simply, is to remove interference to the nervous system. So when you come in, we're not treating your neck pain or your headaches or your backache or your sore shoulder or your whatever. We're reducing interference to the nervous system by getting the spine into a better position. And great, fantastic, your back feels better, I love it, awesome, high five, praise God. But that ain't what we're doing. We're removing interference. That's the name of the game. And symptoms are just the oil light. The symptoms you feel, the pain you're in, the symptoms you experience is just the smoke detector in the house. It ain't the problem. So if you just want to treat symptoms, it's like taking duct tape and putting it over the oil light or taking the batteries out of the smoke detector. That's basically what drugs do. They cover up symptoms. And again, I get it for certain things. I got to have certain drugs. But the reality is most symptoms are just warning signs. All right, this last little part, this is 20 for 2020. I want to give you, these are things that have brought me a ton of value. A lot of these things I still read and look through every morning when I'm doing my morning time. But just, I guess, principles, quotes, laws, ideas, facts, whatever you want to call these, things that have really been impactful for me in my life. And I've kind of translated over into how I deal with, health in my family and finances and everything else. So first one, if it comes from a plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, avoid it, right? Simple. If it's made from a plant, try to avoid it. The health of the animal is key. We talked about this before. If it's a healthy chicken, then healthy chickens make healthy eggs. And healthy chickens make healthy chicken sandwiches. And healthy cows make healthy steaks. And you get that? Healthy fish. So it's the health of the animal that makes all the difference. And I get it. We can't eat organic, free range, wild caught all the time. We just need to move toward that direction. Only exercise on the days you want to be healthy. Skip every other day. Like if you don't care about Sunday, then don't be healthy Sunday. Just skip Sunday. So, and this brings me to the next one, is the 80-20 rule. 80% healthy, 20% American. It's the name of the game. We all got to have birthdays, and we got to have vacation meals, and but the problem is a lot of you guys have been on vacation for like 14 years. So we got to reel it in a little bit, tighten up, get serious, and then have our vacation meals when we have our vacation meals. Love the process and not the result. If the only thing you love is the result, if that's the whole reason you're doing everything is just to get the result, guess what's going to happen when you get the result? Because you know what's at the end of every challenge? What the reward is for a challenge? Another challenge, right? So if we don't learn to love the process, we're not going to keep it up. It's not going to be long term. It's not going to sustain us. So you got to start to love the process of getting up in the morning. I get up at 4:59. Why 4:59? Because to heck with you, 5 a.m. Right? That's the only reason. Like 1 minute before 5. I used to associate so much pain with getting up at 5 a.m. Like I hated it, awful. Now I associate pain with not being able to get all that stuff done in the morning. Like it's part of what I have to do because I've changed what I've associated pain and pleasure to. So that's the name of the game. We got to learn to love the process, not the result. The people that are successful, the ones that make it and the ones that get the best results and lose the best weight and keep it off are the ones that start to love the process. Live one day at a time and just do the next right thing. We cannot change the past and we cannot control the future. So why don't we just go ahead and live today? Just, God gives us one day at a time. Go ahead and live today and do the next right thing. That's what I try to remind myself throughout the day. What is the next right thing? And sometimes it ain't that sexy. It's like take out the garbage and go walk the dog and go to the gym or take a nap, whatever. What is the next right thing? Because that's really all we got. That's all we can do. Progress, not perfection. So the key with this is progress, not perfection. For some reason with our health, this is the only category in our life that we say if we can't do it perfect, it ain't even worth trying. Right? We would never say that in any other aspect of our life. If I can't be a perfect parent, why even have kids? Or if I can't be a perfect Christian, why even go to church or even try? I can't be a perfect spouse or employee or whatever. But when it comes to our health, we say, you know what? Why eat a salad today when I know I'm going to have pizza on Friday? Like, it doesn't make sense. So progress, not perfection. Perfectionism is just a low rent way of just saying, it's just kind of stopping yourself from initiating something. And it takes a lifetime to learn how to live. Raise your hand if you like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But it does. It really does. It takes a lifetime to learn how to live. Turns out this is my first time being 42. I told my daughter the other day, she's like, why do you do this? What? I was like, you know what, honey? It's my first time ever being a dad. And she's like, oh. Like she'd never thought of that at all. Oh, okay. Cool. I get that. Yeah, first time through life. And it turns out you don't know if you did it good till you're dead. So it takes a lifetime to learn how to live, and you don't know if you did it good until you're dead. Live with passion. And passion is a willingness to be in pain for something that matters more than pain. It's a willingness to be in pain for something that matters more than pain. Mothers are extremely passionate. They're willing to be in tremendous amounts of pain for something that matters more than pain. And that goes with your profession, that goes with your family, that goes with your just every aspect of your life. And if you're going to live a passionate life, you got to live an RE life. You got to live your life in the RE. If you're going to give, it's like a pitcher. If you're going to pour out, you have to be refilled. You have to be rejuvenated and replenished and restored and recovered and remembered. And the word restaurant comes from the word restoration, to be refilled and to be restored. Rejoice, replenish, all those things, those RE words. We've got to work toward living an RE life. Live with high hopes and low expectations. My expectations are premeditated resentments. So I used to have a lot of expectations of people, like you're going to do this, and I'm going to show you this exercise program, and you're going to follow your chiropractic care, and I expect you to do it, and I was just loading you up to resent the heck out of you. So my expectations are premeditated resentments. I'm just loading it up to resent you. So I try to live a high hope, low expectation. I hope everybody in this room gets healthier and moves toward all the result they want, but I don't have any expectations. It's much more peaceful and much freer. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. That's a big one. Like that's a big deal for me, especially in the social media world where we live comparing our insides to everybody else's outsides. Like I get to compare my crummy life to your highlight reel. I just hate where this thing is going, but compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to someone else, to who someone else is today. And it's very peaceful that way. People say, what about the kids? Well, we cannot ask our kids to do something we're not willing to do, or to stop doing something that we're currently doing. We just can't do that. We got to be the role model. So that's really the key with kids, is to be the role model. And if you have kids and you're worried about how to get them to eat all this healthy food and getting them on track, there's a couple things with that. Number one is there's never been a kid in America that starved because they didn't like their food choices. Number one, like they'll eventually eat. And number two is they don't control the budget. Like they're not the ones buying the food. So as adults, we just have to kind of be the role model with that. Begin and end each day with gratitude. I try to bookend my day with gratitude, whether it's my family, my practice, the ability to serve and talk and give to people. Like that changes my life when I begin and end my day with gratitude. And if you have trouble finding gratitude, just know that there's over 1 million families in Egypt that are raising their kids on a trash dump every day. They live in a trash heap, over 1 million families. So if you have trouble finding gratitude, just realize that there's other people that have it way, way worse than we do. Kindness and empathy always win. Always, always, always in every case. Kindness and empathy always win. And I'm working toward growing in that every single day. Acknowledge that you matter. Loved by the one that made you. Risk loss, fail forward, and be clumsy. Clumsy is as good as we're ever going to get, guys. Like, I hate to break it to you. We're like giraffes running on ice. Like, clumsy is as good as we're ever going to get. So take risk, fall forward, and continue to be clumsy. Nobody's got it all figured out, and when they tell you they do, they're trying to sell you something. Sometimes it's not okay, and it's okay that it's not okay because it's going to be okay. Right? That's acceptance. I think that's the closest to peace we're going to get this side of heaven. Sometimes it's just not okay. Like life sometimes is just a crap sandwich, and it's not okay, and it's okay that it's not okay, and it's going to be okay. Right? Acceptance. Life is tragic and God is faithful. That one is revealed more and more every day with me, that sometimes life is just crappy and tragic and not fair, and God is still faithful. Sometimes life is just doesn't even make any sense, but God is faithful. Sometimes life just is wrong, but God is faithful. So I always come back around to that. Self-worth versus self-esteem. I wish self-esteem would be eliminated from the dictionary. I wish they'd scratch that word. I wish they would stop using it. Self-esteem is so gross to me, because self-esteem is something that has to be built up from the outside in, and it can also be torn down. Versus self-worth, which is something you're given at birth. It can't be raised or lowered, given or taken. It just is what it is, and you have had it since you were a baby. That's self-worth. A little tiny baby has tremendous amounts of worth. They do nothing but poop and pee and puke and cry, but they have tremendous amounts of worth. But we give that up and we move toward a self-esteem approach, which is based on how you esteem me. My performance gives me my worth, not who I'm made to be. Be needy, ask for help. Be vulnerable and follow God. God, and then good orderly direction. Good orderly direction. How plus God minus ego equals joy. How equals honesty, openness, and willingness. You've got to be honest, face your life, be open to change, and be willing to do the work. Plus good orderly direction minus ego, which stands for easing God out, right, equals joy. That's how we get the success we want. So thank you guys so much, and God bless.